Hi, this is Dr. Nick. I'm the Incrementalist here with incremental insights for better business, better health. Wanted to talk about a question I keep getting asked. It's genetic drift and the changing nature of the virus and what that's going to mean for our response, our ability to be able to fight this, and our ability to return to work safely and normally. Here's what we know about viruses. For the most part, they have what's called genetic drift. So there's some variability. They're interesting collections of material because they're not really living things, unlike bacteria that have all of the constituent parts that allow for life as we sort of deem it. But they use or hijack cells based on the DNA, RNA, and then they have a capsule that allows them to get in. But it's that DNA and RNA that tends to mix in other cells, and it can get some elements that are pulled in from other DNA and RNA that's in those cells. And there's also some mutation that occurs. And what we see in all of these viruses is some aspect of drift. And that's important because when we develop an immune response, we are designing, or our body is designing to that specific elements within the virus. So there are markers in there, these shapes. You see these three-dimensional shapes. And the concern is that we're seeing some reinfection of individuals that have had COVID-19. These are very small numbers, particularly when you consider how many people just in the United States, as we currently count, well over millions of people have been infected, and yet we're only seeing single case reports from around the world. So this is clearly a rare event, or at least it appears to be. And even if it's occurring, we don't really know why, and it may just be that they never really cleared out the virus, they didn't fully recover. If you look at coronaviruses in general, we do develop an immune response. It does last for some period of time, at least based on some of the studies that are being published, 6 to 12 months. No different to influenza and the flu vaccine, which we essentially try and predict what's going to happen and use that as our basis for the flu vaccine that we deliver to people, and we change it over the course of the year. So what does that mean for COVID-19 and getting back to work safely? Well, first of all, you can't just depend on a vaccine being available to return to whatever it is that you consider to be the new normal. So vaccine is not this silver bullet. There's going to be all sorts of availability. We are going to get one. We will see something, and there's going to be all sorts of variations on a theme. So it's not just one type of vaccine. And what's really interesting about some of them is that they have the potential, even though our body doesn't react to the COVID-19, they're picking up particular elements of the virus and producing a response that might be actually much better than the body's response. So that's great news. But there are other ways that we can respond to this virus and return to business normally. It is not just about this one thing. So this is part of the normal insights and understanding that we develop over the course of time. And what I would say from a business perspective is you need to understand all of this and apply it in the context of your business, the assessment of risk in your particular circumstance. So the overriding message, which has really been the same for some time now, is you need expert advice. I would encourage you to get a medical director or a virtual medical director, much like the services that I'm offering with some friends and colleagues, and have that as your guide through this process to understand what's appropriate from your perspective as you think about risk and what's necessary. The good news is we'll find solutions to this, and it's going to allow us to return to some level of normalcy, whatever that happens to be, and we can do so safely, but you need help. I'm Dr. Nick, I'm the Incrementalist, here with incremental insights for better business and better health.